When Abraham realizes in Parshas Lech Lecha, he realizes, I'm not going to have children. Now, how does Abraham know he's not going to have children? Yes, he's older, okay? And yes, he doesn't have children, fine. But he says to Hashem, I'm not going to have children. Now, why doesn't he see that? Because Abraham was the greatest stargazer of the time. He was able to read the mazalos, the zodiacs, he was able to see. And he saw in the stars that he wasn't going to have children. That's why he says to Hashem, I see I'm not going to have children. What does Hashem say? What's Hashem's response to when Abraham says, I'm not going to have children? Hashem says, the pasuk is, Vayotze oso hachutza. Hashem takes him outside. He tells him, go outside. Vayomer, and he says, Habeit na hashemayim, go look up at the stars. Usfara kochavim, count the stars, if you can count them. Vayomer lo, when he tells him, Ko yezaracha, so will be your children. Says the Medrash, what does it mean, Vayotze oso? He took him outside. Where he took him outside what? Where did he take him outside to? Right? It didn't have to say it, because it said, look up to the heavens, then you would know he was outside. What does it mean he took him outside? Says the Medrash on this pasuk, he says, he took him outside of the stargazing that he'd been seeing. He said, "Say me'at tegninus shelcha." Go out from your stargazing. Go above from the astrology, shara'isa b'mazalas, that you're seeing up in the zodiacs, up in the stars. Because in the stars, eincha asid lahamid ben. It actually says, Avram ein lo ben. Avram, you're not going to have a child. That's what the mazalos are showing. That's what the astrological signs point, that Avram is not having a child. And Hashem says, he takes him out of that. He takes him above that. He says, Avram, look past that. Aval Abraham yesh lo ben. Because Avram's going to have a child. What is he saying? As Chazal say, Ein mazel li Yisrael. Sounds like it's saying Jews don't have mazel. What it means is Jews are not bound by mazel. We're not bound by what the mazalos say. We're not bound by what the natural order should be, what nature should predict for us. We're not bound by it. Avram saying, I see that I'm not going to have children. Hashem says, yeah. Look past that. Remember, you're the first Jew. You're not bound by that. You're not bound by nature. The famous interaction between King Louis XIV and Pascal in the 17th century, where King Louis said to Pascal, he said, show me something supernatural. I want to see evidence of something supernatural. And Pascal responded, the Jews, Your Majesty, the Jews. Perhaps that's why, when Reb Ruvain came to the Greeks, dressed up as a Greek, and he said, if you had an enemy and you wanted to weaken them, what would you do? And he showed them 3 things that really make sense to weaken any nation. Yes, if you make them work less, they'll be financially less well off. If you make them undergo surgery, they will be weaker. Any enemy. Make them have less children, they'll be fewer in number. Any enemy. But when they find out he's a Jew, they reverse everything. They institute everything. But why? But that's so counterintuitive. I thought it makes sense to weaken them in all these ways. Wouldn't that naturally weaken? Yes, naturally in the world of nature, it would weaken any nation. But not the Jews. They're not bound by nature. What applies in the world of nature doesn't seem to work with them. We've got to attack this spiritually. And therefore they reinstitute everything despite the fact that it's counterintuitive and against nature. And really, it should not strengthen them. We're not doing that. They're Jews. Jews are beyond nature.